Thank you very much. I'm really delighted to be here at the opening of this workshop. I met a number of you at the wonderful dinner last night, but before I begin, can I please thank Jean-François Hoquet for his introduction and the invitation to speak to you today. Let me also acknowledge the other workshop chairs, Mr. Gilles Twin and Mr. Alexander Vessel, and I'd very much like to welcome warmly my Australian colleagues from CSIRO, Dr. Andy Shepherd, Dr. Artie Tobin, and Dr. Brad Riddart, who you'll be hearing from later. Let me also thank the other members of the organising committee from AFZ, INRAE and ISARA, and this event's co-sponsor, OECD. Food and Feed for the Future is such a great title for an important and timely topic. How we can make our food supply more sustainable and more resilient. As outlined in the programme, this touches on a range of global challenges, including food security, climate change, and socioeconomic issues, as well as agriculture and food tech approaches in response. These topics are among the priorities Australia and France have identified to build an even closer bilateral relationship. In July of last year, President Emmanuel Macron invited the then newly elected Prime Minister Anthony Albanese to visit. That was within 5 weeks of him having been elected. And they reconfirmed their commitment to a stronger bilateral relationship and launched a roadmap to do so. There are 3 pillars to that roadmap. The first is defence and security. The second is resilience and climate action. And the third is education and culture. Food security, sustainability, and climate change, and indeed our broader scientific collaboration, all have their place across all 3 pillars. And this roadmap is currently being negotiated and should be launched by the end of this year. Another event that we can look forward to is the joint science and innovation meeting between Australia and France, which will provide an opportunity for more in-depth discussions and exchanges between policymakers and practitioners in the areas of science and innovation. The last joint meeting was held in Canberra in Australia in 2019, and we're working with our French host to arrange the next meeting. Fortunately, we don't have to wait for these important events to move ahead with bilateral science collaboration. It's taking place unabated, as shown by this event. Indeed, our key workshop organisers, INRAE and CSIRO, are fortunately long-standing partners. An INRAE delegation visited Australia earlier this year, and I understand that joint linkage calls between CSIRO and INRAE are working well. 13 projects have already been funded this year in the areas of agriculture, and there's a strong commitment from both organisations to do more. I also understand that CSIRO and INRAE are keen to explore opportunities to create an international associated lab around soil carbon sequestration within the Pacific Islands, pioneered by our next speaker, Andy Shepherd. This builds on the ongoing work of CSIRO's European laboratory, which has been based in Montpellier for 57 years, managing collaboration in pest and weed management with EU-based scientists and agencies. Other priority areas for CSIRO in its collaboration with France include space, quantum, and clean energy. Since my arrival in Paris in late 2022, I've seen many more examples of such productive exchanges in the field of science and innovation, and I'll just list a few of the highlights. In April 2021, the Australia-France Roadmap for Innovation and Science Collaboration was signed. In October that year, CNRS opened an office in Melbourne for ASEAN and Oceania. And this followed CNRS's launch of the Crossing International Research Laboratory in South Australia, with its focus on artificial intelligence and autonomous systems. In late 2021, we saw the establishment of the French hub of AFRAN, the Australia-French Association for Research and Innovation, which aims to promote cooperation between French and Australian researchers, R&D managers, industry players, innovators, and policymakers. The Embassy is proud to be represented on its board, together with our workshop chair, Jean-François Hoquet. I'm sure many of you are members, but if you're not, I encourage you to sign up for free on the AFRAN website, and you'll find in your folder a flyer with more information, so please do so. And finally, in August of last year, I host the launch of OFRAN, the Australia-France Network of Doctoral Excellence, which is a €15 million doctoral training network led by RMIT with European Commission financial support. In conclusion, let me just note that these collaborations and events such as today's Food and Feed for the Future show that our researcher-to-researcher collaborations are strong and comprehensive, that they cover a range of issues and sectors, including agriculture, energy, climate change, space, to name just a few. They show the incredible results Australian and French scientists can achieve together. They are absolutely vital to enhance our bilateral collaboration, and they help address global challenges we are faced with together. So thank you very much for this invitation to speak to you today, and I wish you all a very productive discussion. Thank you.